Hey there folks, today I'd like to take a casual peek into the Masters of the Universe Classics Vikor action figure set by Mattel. This figure set was first available in January of 2011 as the first figure of the year from the Matty Collector website. I got this figure set through Matty Collector as part of the second offering of the Vikor figure, about a week or two after the first offering sold out in 5-6 minutes. And I paid $20 for this figure set, not including shipping. Taking a look at the Vikor figure here in the package, you can see Vikor here, who is an early concept of the He-Man figure that eventually was not used until early this year. You can see Vikor has a shield and an axe. That's kind of cool, and there's a sticker here that says the powers of Grayskull, and here you can see that Vikor is a He-Man of the North. Taking a look at the back of the package here, we can see other figures in the Masters of the Universe Classics line. We have King Grayskull, Wondar, Vikor, the Goddess, Hero, and Zodak. And it's kind of cool how they put these particular characters on the back of the package, because all of these figures play a part in the early history of Eternia. Down below here we have a description and sort of biography of Vikor, He-Man of the North. And kind of cool that they included the early concept design of Vikor there, which is very much inspired from a certain Robert E. Howard character. We'll be right back and have Vikor out of the package. Alright, we're back and we have the He-Man of the North here out of the package. Now, even though Vikor was based off an early concept design of He-Man that eventually wasn't used, I'm glad that Mattel has actually produced a version of the character in the Masters of the Universe Classics line. I'm really grateful for that, because I really like this figure. It's really great. It's well sculpted, well painted. There are a few tiny issues I do have with it, but I'm very happy that Mattel gave us a Vikor figure. Now, this figure does come with a few accessories, and we'll go over the accessories right now. And first up, we have here a shield, a pointed shield with multi layers of paint here, and it's pretty cool. You got the silverish type point here, and some green and some what looks like a bronze or copper around the green sun type emblem. And it's not just simply painted on, it's also sculpted here, which is pretty neat. And on the other side, it's just plain silver with a clip that you can clip onto either arm of the Vikor there, and should fit and clip on pretty well, as you can see right there. So that's kind of cool. And it's really neat with the sculpt. I really like the sculpt around this sun type emblem, and also on the edges as well. Pretty cool. Next we have what's either a bear hide or wolf hide type of cloak or cape here, and it's pretty cool. And you can see the texture here on the outside of what looks like a fur. And it's pretty cool, and also has an inner texture of more fine like type of hair or fur on there, and it's pretty cool. And around the cape or cloak here is a bone type necklace with some beads. Very well sculpted. It's very cool in the detail, and the tiny little skull there even has some I guess a wash of dark brown to make it look weathered. Really cool. And this cape or cloak was on the figure when it was in the package, And you just simply pop off the head of the figure here, and like that, and just go ahead and drape it around the shoulders, and you can pop the head back on. Here, let me just do it off screen here a second. And you can see it sits a little loose if it isn't secured in by the hair of the figure. Here, let me just bend the head down a bit, and you can see it sits rather loosely on there. And but that's okay. That's not too bad. I like that they give you the option of having the removable head to remove it or put on the cloak. But I prefer to have it off the figure because it does impede a little bit of the articulation around the hair and head of this figure. So I'll go ahead and pop this off real quick. There we go. And taking a look at a couple more accessories, we have here the sword, which is in Vikor's left hand at the moment. And I did not know that the figure came with a sword. It was well hidden in the package behind the figure. And you can see some of the details of the sword. It's actually kind of cool. It's got a greenish paint on the hilt here. What looks like a gem, a brownish colored gem, although the paint on this one is scratched up just a little bit. Looks like I got chipped on there. But on the other side here, you can see the gem sitting on the sword, and there's even some paint detail, some brownish, like a wash or spray around the gem, and you can see the metallic paint on the blade. It's actually pretty neat. Now, unfortunately, that got chipped there. It was well hidden when in the package because there is a sort of strap-like scabbard on the back of the figure here where you can place the sword, which is really neat on there. Now the other accessory is the battle axe, and takes a look at the details on this one, and you can see that the handles are painted green as well, and there's a orb-like gem on there as well on the end of the axe. And you can also see some more of that brown spray on the axe as well to give it some weathered texture detail. And the blades of the axe are painted silver, just like the sword there. Pretty cool. Now on to Vikor himself, and this is a really great figure. It's based off of the, like I said, concept design of He-Man that eventually was not used, and Mattel has brought it back. I think it's a great idea because it looks really cool, and based off of that concept design that was on the back of the packaging, you could really tell that this guy was based off a Robert E. Howard character, and we all know who that guy is, and it looks very similar in look and design. And but taking a look at some of the details of Vikor here, starting with the head, and it's really cool, really detailed, especially on the helmet here. You could see the multi colors on the paint of the helmet. You got silver on these edges here. You got this greenish grayish color here on parts of the helm, and you can actually see some of the dents and beadings on the helmet, which is really neat. And then you got this winged logo on the front of the helmet that's painted a copperish bronze color on there, and it's very cool. And of course you got these horns on the side, which is really detailed. It's not just a simple piece of plastic. There's actually some weathering paint and some shading a bit on there. Very, very nice. Very, very cool. And this helmet sits on Vikor's head. Unfortunately, it's not removable. It's part of the sculpt of the figure, unfortunately. It would have been nice if they provided, I guess, an alternate head without the helmet, or have the helmet removable, but they didn't. So that's one thing I kind of wish they did. And you can see the hair on the figure. You can see the individual strands of hair, and it's made of a very rigid plastic. It's not soft or bendable in a way. It's in any way. It's very, very hard. So it does kind of restrict the articulation of the head when you turn it. And as a result of this very rigid plastic, you can actually see some paint rubbing on the shoulders. You can see some of the black paint rubbing onto the figure. You can probably rub that off, but every time you turn the head, that's going to present a mark on the shoulder of the figure there, which is kind of unfortunate. If it was made of a soft, pliable plastic, that would have been really, really cool. Taking a look at the rest of the figure on down here, you can see I guess the typical He-Man design of the figure, but this one is painted fairly well. It's got a nice wash of a reddish brownish color throughout the figure, and it provides almost like a tan like color to his skin tone, which is pretty cool. And you can see a sculpted armband there with some painted studs on there. Very cool. And you can see that Vikor had escaped, I guess, some sort of imprisonment. It doesn't say in the packaging what he was bound for, but you can see these manacles here and what's I guess a broken chain that he escaped some sort of imprisonment, and it's nicely painted on these on the wrist there. It's very cool, and this is actual chain. I don't know if it's metal or, yeah, it is metal. Metal chain, very light metal on there on either end. It's very, very neat. And then you have his covering, his loincloth, I guess you can call it, a very long one. And you can see that it's designed in tatters, which is kind of cool. So he's weathered the elements, you could say. Being He-Man of the North, I guess he's had to battle some extreme weather conditions on there. So taking a toll on his loincloth there. Very cool. And then you got the boots here with sculpted straps around the boots. That's very cool. Very well designed figure. I'm glad Mattel released this version. If anything, to be a de facto replacement for a Conan figure that I don't have. But still, it's very cool, whether he's Conan or Vikor. And I think it's a great figure. Going over the articulation, the head does go all the way around if you work at it, leaving marks on the shoulders if need be. But you can get it all the way around. And you can actually get the head up and down quite a bit as well, and side to side. Which is pretty neat. The arms do go all the way around. They do go out and in. They do go all the way around at the bicep. They bend at the elbow and rotate all the way around at the wrist. The torso does bend down, up, and a little bit to the back. Not too much. But it does go all the way around at the waist. The legs do go up, down, and back, and out to the side, and all the way around at the top of the thigh. The knees do bend up and down. The boot goes all the way around at the calf. The foot bends up and down at the ankle, and does have ankle pivot on there. Overall, excellent Masters of the Universe Classics figure, and one, I guess, I don't know if he's canon. I guess he's canon now that he's in Masters of the Universe Classics, but was not canon for a long time until just recently, which is really, really cool. If you really want to have a character from early Eternian history, or maybe a substitute Conan. This is my casual peek into the Masters of the Universe Classics Vikor figure. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.